All right, all praises goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Mekakodash. Double honors goes out to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that have taught me this truth. Much love and peace and blessings goes out to all the hopeful elect that are out there teaching the word of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in all truth and in sincerity. So as you brothers may know, you got Esau, the serpent, the so-called white man, the rulers of this world, here with yet another false flag attack. And that's basically what I'm speaking on in this video. The incident that happened over the weekend on DC. I believe this was Friday. And allegedly this guy, some random Jake, rammed into some police officers. And I guess he drove over a barricade and ran over a police officer, killed him. You know, and all this is alleged because who really knows what happens? Because this is how the left hand deals. You know, a lot of these shootings and a lot of events that, you know, what most people would think are legitimized are actually false. They're actually just psychological operations to sway people's opinions in a certain way, this way or that way. And the way it's looking could be, for this particular incident, could be one of them, because shortly after this happened, they identified this guy and said he was some type of black nationalist extremist, and he was online looking at Farrakhan's Facebook posts, all kind of crazy shit. And this is just hours after the whole incident went down. Like, they got the guy's whole information and everything set up, and they pouring it out there. But really, you know, this is just more of justification and pretext to come against anyone amongst you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that are dissenters against the U.S. government, man. Because Esau fears you. Esau fears you as a black man, Hispanic man, Native American man, rising to your power and getting that ultimate level of knowledge, which is you knowing you're Israelite. So let's go through this article and get some scriptures. It says, 1 Capitol police officer dead, 1 injured after car rams U.S. Capitol barricade. It says U.S. Capitol officer was killed and another officer was injured after a knife-wielding man rammed his car into the officers near Capitol Hill security barricade Friday afternoon. So it tells you that this guy had a knife. How would they know he had a knife if he's in the car? I mean, why would he use his car if he intended to get out and use a knife? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It says the man rammed the officer shortly after 1 p.m. and then crashed into the north barricade along Constitution Avenue. Acting U.S. Police Chief Yogananda Pittman said, which that's a weird-ass name, man, said at a news conference Friday afternoon. The man then emerged from the car with a knife in hand and started to lunge toward the officers before he was shot by one of them, Pittman said. The suspect, as well as both officers who were struck by the car, were taken to hospitals where the suspect and one of the officers died. So let's go down. Let's go down some. It says law enforcement sources confirmed WTOP's national, I don't know what that stands for, national security correspondent J.J. Green, that the suspect was identified as 25-year-old Noah R. Green, who may have originally been from Indiana, but was believed to be living in Virginia more recently. So, I mean, they're claiming that this guy is some type of terrorist. It says Green described himself as a follower of the Nation of Islam and its founder, Louis Farrakhan, and spoke of going through a difficult time where he leaned on his faith, according to recent messages posted online that have since been taken down. The messages were captured by the group's site, which tracks online activity, Associated Press reported. Let's go down. So it shows you, it's showing you, it's creating a pretext of why this guy did what it did. It said that he had a difficult time where he leaned on his faith. So what are they pushing? They're pushing an anti-faith message, to where if you're a believer, You could be a believer of the extreme sort. So let's just cancel out all believers altogether. Because really what Esau wants you to do is worship. He wants you to worship Satan. Satan is supposed to be the new God of the New World Order. You know what I mean? So it says, it's going down. Well, let's end that there, man. Let's end that there. Let's go to a few scriptures. So basically, this is all the setup. For those of you that don't know, this is just another device of Satan to further accuse the Israelites. It says, 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And who is Satan right now? Satan is you so-called white people, man. Because you come in the spirit of Satan. So therefore, that's what the scriptures call you. Scriptures call you Satan. So a device is basically like a mechanism. Esau's mechanism that he's been using for the longest amount of time is propaganda and lies. For anyone amongst our people, you know, that have a functioning brain and look to detach themselves from him in this society, what they do is they set up certain agents of chaos to be detractors and act like they're about the movement and then do extreme shit, run over police officers, as you can see, and all kind of crazy stuff to pin that on the movement to begin with. You see what I'm saying? So you got people like that in Nation of Islam and black consciousness movements and black nationalist movements, even in the Israelites. You got certain dudes doing uncircumspect behavior inside different Hebrew Israelite camps. These guys are posting guns to their social media, posting videos of them shooting at the gun range. And for what? For one, it's they just for no damn reason. It's to be carnal. But then for two, some of these guys could be agents, man. So Esau could be there, sit there, and you people out there that have no idea what's going on could sit there and be like, well, look, these guys, they're violent. They got guns and blah blah blah. And they hate white people. So you know what I mean? But it's all a farce. It's all a lie. It's all Satan's device. That's why scriptures say, lest Satan should get advantage of us. We are not ignorant of his devices. So that's what Esau is looking to do. He's looking to get an advantage on the chessboard, so to speak, by doing these different left-hand moves, man. Deception, lies, guile. So the thing about us as believers, we can't be ignorant of these things. We got to check these things out. Okay? Because if you look this up, let's see if this actually comes up. Operation Black Messiah. The FBI says goals for COINTELPRO. You see, if you look up this COINTELPRO, this was a directive of the FBI where they infiltrated different civil rights groups. But when they refer to these groups as what? Black nationalist hate groups. Just like today, the new term is black identity extremists. And this COINTELPRO goes back to J. Edgar Hoover. He was a racist devil, man. He was a pig. He was a demon. And he hated so-called Negroes. So now here in 2021, let's look this up. Black identity extremists. You see? Here in 2021, or say this actually goes back to 2017 to 2019, when Esau is still trying to come at it from this angle. It proves that he's never changed. He's still a racist demon. All right. It says in the United States, black identity extremist was a designation used by the FBI from August 2017 to July 2019. It first appeared in a counterterrorism report dated August 3rd, 2019. So you see what angle they're coming at it with. And actually, I believe they had to change this up. And pretty much they broadened the term to domestic terrorists or domestic extremists or conspiracy theorists. You see what I'm saying? Because they got caught out that there was actually no Israelite so-called black male group out there that were performing these acts as far as violent extremism. That shit was it never fucking happened. So this is just slander, and this you know, the device of these devils, man, to try and paint our people in a certain light. Because when we say he's the devil, we mean it, man. J. Edgar Hoover was racist. And you even got a movement while lawmakers are pushing to rename the FBI headquarters from J. Edgar Hoover. Because you know why? Because he was a known racist. It says dismiss J. Edgar Hoover. It says a lawmaker pushing to rename FBI headquarters dismiss J. Edgar Hoover as racist and misogynistic, which he was clearly a racist. Because where was his movements against Arab nationalist movements or Asian nationalist movements? No, he was coming against Jake. He was coming against the Israelites because he's a damn devil. This is Revelation 12:9. It says, and the great dragon was cast out, the old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So this is the fate, ultimately, of the so-called white man, is to be cast out. Cast out from what? His high, being on that high horse, so to speak, being on that upper echelon. He's going to get cast out, all right, and go into captivity. Because the scriptures say he deceiveth the world. And that deception is taking place in these various happenings, like what we're reading about here with this guy in D.C. running over cops. That was nothing but deception from the devil and Satan, a.k.a. the Caucasian man. All right, the elites of them. Because, I mean, Joe Sixpack that works his 9 to 5, he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't understand a thing about what his people are involved in. This is Revelation 11, verse 11. It says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And who is them? The them is the Israelites, because those 3 days and a half basically represents the time period in which our people would sleep, about a 350-year time period where we would sleep and we were put into captivity on cargo slave ships, and we served captivity in America. And then towards the late 60s, that's when the Lord put the spirit on Abba Bivens to be able to understand that we are the Israelites. And you have prior movements to him, prior movements to the elder, but they didn't understand the New Testament, and they didn't really believe in Yahushua. Now he added to his part, and then the elders under him added their part, and now onto the elders that live today, the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Now we have the full breadth and full knowledge. So it says, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Part of them which see us is these Edomites out here. They're the main ones watching. And they're scared of the fact that we're calling on Yahweh Hashem Yahushai once again, because through that name and through the Israelites understanding the power to call on, our Lord has destroyed nations for us, man. Okay? So that's a fearful thing for these devils and all of our oppressors, because they know the retribution is coming. So they're coming with movements like this, where they're saying, you know, we're extremists, terrorists, we doing this and doing that, blah, 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 so that they could be able to stump out this movement, stump out the spark. They want the spirit of life to be removed from us. They don't want us calling upon our power again. So they want to do all these different little tactics to try to slander us and paint us as nobody, so we could be pushed in the corner. But the scriptures say thy teacher shall not be removed in the corner anymore. Because the time for us being in the corner, that already happened. It already passed. Now the cream is rising to the top, so to speak. So all praises goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Shalom.